3. We are out here with our crew. Cream, Justin from JustNKayse. We're hanging out.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing it. You know, first interview of the day, shaking off the rust, hanging out. All right, so welcome to Miami Music Week. We want to know, what does Miami Music Week really mean to you guys? Why is it so important to be here?
I mean, this is just a time where we can link with really good people, listen to music that just is inspiring, and I don't know, we love house music, and it's every time we leave here, it's a refreshing, motivating, yet it's a great time to really take things to the next level as far as I don't know, being in the culture and really supporting it.
Let us know a little bit about your group, what you guys are about, what you guys have been up to in the last year, and what brought you down here and all that good stuff.
So we started the group about a couple months ago, and we did Ultra Music Festival last year. We were invited by Tommy Sunshine, and that's what kind of did it for us. And then there was just this spark that we were like, okay, we're already making so much dance music. Everybody was like, you guys need to just be in a group, make a group. So came up with the name JustNKayse, and yeah, it's been super awesome. And we have 4 remixes out exclusively on SiriusXM, Diplo Revolution. So we have a Harry Styles one, As It Was, Despecha, Rosalia, Beyonce, Cuff It, and then we just did Flowers, Miley Cyrus. And that one helped her hit #1 on Billboard. So we got featured actually on a Billboard article with On Deck and Tommy Sunshine. And that was a week ago. Yeah. So it was our first Billboard
Nice, congrats,
article.
that's dope.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, we're just working on a bunch of new music, and we kind of flipped it. Usually people release music first and have a social media build up. And but we don't have any social media. We just started it, but we have a Billboard article and remixes on SiriusXM. So it's a little flip, but we're doing it different. So yeah.
That's all right. You start making good music, and the people are gonna find you, right?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Like you said, you have remixes that are doing really well on Diplo. That's the way to build friends, right? When you're making really good music that people want to dance to and want to play as DJs. So, some people start with the social media and grow that way, but sometimes you could really start with really good music, and you could build your fans that way. So that's really dope. So let me ask you this, because Gary and I are a duo, so to speak, right? We're a duo in the podcast. We were also individual DJs before this, so what's the dynamic and what's it like being a duo instead of just being a single individual artist?
Yeah, that's actually a really good question. It's cool because our backgrounds are similar but different, and there's things that we both push each other, as far as she pushes me vocally, but I'll push her on the production side of things, and vice versa. We both bring really good elements to the table, but we're both pushing each other and maybe our weaker areas in the studio, when we're creating.
That's a huge thing. We always say this, because you know what? His strong points are my weak points, and my weak points, and vice versa, right? So it really works out. That makes a really good partnership. That makes a really good, just group and a good way to build a good foundation into something big. We have a new guest.
This is what happens when we record live.
This is what it is. Miami Music Week, welcome.
All right, check it out, guys. What's up? We're back. The pre-party for the EDMA is Miami Music Week. We're here with Landis.
What's up, guys?
What's up, bro?
Kicking it.
I'm glad we were able to grab you. I've been watching all your social stuff, and you've been killing it on social. Big fan of what you're doing there.
Thank you, man.
But let me ask you this. So we're here in Miami. What makes it really important to be here and bounce around the parties and talk to everybody?
I think it's probably, it's this and ADE, right? Is it for networking and dance music? So it's just seeing as many people that you've been talking to online for months in person.
Yeah.
And actually making that face-to-face connection. It's that opportunity,
You said something that kind of intrigues me. We talk about this a lot on the podcast, where it's these people that we talk to online, right? Because that's kind of when you're gigging and you're producing and you're kind of grinding hard at your business side of stuff, that's really the way you're out there networking right now, right?
100%.
That is definitely what you're right. That is why these things are so important. But my question to you is, what has been, and it doesn't have to be from this week, but what's a Miami Music Week highlight for you?
So in the past, right? I mean, I have a funny Tommy Sunshine story.
Yes.
This is awesome, right? So you guys know Tommy Sunshine, just long hair, big
Legend.
beard, glasses, right? So I maybe 4 years ago or so, we were going into a party, I think at the Sagamore, and they would not let him in because he had a bag of trail mix, right? And he was like adamant, like I have low blood sugar, I need to get in with my trail mix. Fucking going off. Called like the owner of the, it was a proximity party. Came out and they're like, no, let him in with the.
Let him in with his trail mix.
So that cracked me up, and I'll always remember that. So I'll leave
That's
that.
hilarious. Like the last thing I would think, the last thing I would think that someone wouldn't let into a party, right?
Fucking trail mix. They got bags of everything, but the trail mix bags,
That's hilarious. So you are one of the owners of Wired Sound Academy.
Yeah.
So it's a production academy. You're based out of Fort Lauderdale, right?
Yeah, so we do production DJ courses in Fort Lauderdale. Small classes, we cap it at like 6 or 7 students, and it's been awesome. A lot of cool DJs are coming out of there.
Yeah, so Gary and I do a lot of mentorship for DJs. We have an agency called Get Down where, we book a lot of DJs, but part of that is really helping DJs grow into themselves and help them grow their businesses. So what was it about starting an education company? What made you do it?
So a big part of it was the community in South Florida, right? It's very spread out. There wasn't like a collective. So part of it was just forming a more like defined collective of artists and DJs down in South Florida, so we can meet up once a month, talk music, and then with the courses, find the up and coming talent in the area and help them along the way.
I see you guys do a lot of open decks, right? Because I was like, man, I wish I was down there. I want to come hang out.
Yeah, so it's been awesome. So once a month, usually a lot of the students that graduate that play, but some other DJs as well, they come out, they play the open decks. And it just helps them get out of their head of playing in front of a crowd, right? Because part of it's just like hopping up there and getting in front of people and not being nervous. And so we just try and like let them do their thing and make sure they get comfortable behind the decks.
So you have your hands in a lot of stuff right now, right? We talked right before this, and you're just, you're just a little bit of everywhere. Yeah. What is your biggest challenge at the moment?
So I think I just had a kid maybe 9 months ago.
I'm gonna say that's time consuming.
It's been managing like the family DJ life. It's crazy, honestly. I'll be touring on the weekends, and then be taking care of my baby on Monday. So it's been a hard balance, but I try to make as much time for him as possible.
Is it like a month by month, like renegotiating your time, understanding where you need to focus things on?
Yeah. I think like each month, like 1 month I'll focus a little more on helping the school. Another month is like, okay, let's set up my tour schedule.
Right.
Another month is the label. I'm trying to hire some people to help, like assistants and stuff.
Relegating is so huge.
Because it's too much for me to handle everything. So I'm starting to hire some people to help with me.
Yeah, that always helps for sure.
100%.
Couple interns.
Exactly.
Use interns. That's the best thing you could do.
All right, so we don't want to take a ton of your time, but is there anything that you have coming up that you're really excited about? Any new releases?
Yeah. So I've got a track I probably can't announce. So I have a really, really big collab coming.
All right.
In like April.
To be announced.
Top 100 DJ is a hint. But so I can't announce it yet. I got a track signed on Confession on Chami's label.
Beautiful.
And then I have a cover of Mambo Italiano.
No.
Super random record. But that's coming out in a couple weeks. I'm super excited because it's just like, who would expect Mambo Italiano but house?
Love it.
So
love it.
That's what's coming.
Listen, a lot of Italians out here, right? We got to represent a little bit.
Bust it out.
All right, so Landis, thank you for joining us.
Of course.
Miami Music Week, the Get Down podcast. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Miami Music Week, we're back with one of my favorite producers right now. No joke.
Thank you so much.
No. Well, first of all, I'm going to start with,
Thank you so much.
I think you won shirt of the day. I love your killing it on that end of things. But secondly, honestly, all of the stuff that you put out, I play every night. Yeah. It's all of my favorite stuff. The Angelo the Kid track that you did. Yeah. Listen, Vandal on the track, in the house, super pumped. Fanboy.
Thank you so much.
We're fanboy.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
I am so honored. I'm really excited about this week. This music week is really interesting and important when you grow your career to network with people. And this is crazy. Like I told, I don't remember who I told this, but I talked to so much people on Instagram, and now this is like we all meet for the first time. So this is crazy.
We
I'm
were
so
just
excited.
saying this. Like we're all so busy with production and DJing, and we all network via social media, and then we get to come here, and finally everybody takes a little break, and we can all talk to each other, meet each other, and really build real relationships. So, how long have you been here so far? How many days?
I arrived on Monday. I just landed and I had a gig 2 hours later.
Okay.
And then I'm going to every event right now.
What's
2 or 3 events a day.
What's been your highlight so far? What's your favorite part of it?
Since now for I don't know. Every events were cool because they were all different. So we had the EDM.com. We had the pool parties. Look.
Yeah, you got a little burn
I
there.
got hit by the sun.
I was gonna tell you, you need a little
it's crazy.
little sunscreen.
So yeah, I wasn't ready. My body wasn't ready for that. The best, I don't know yet.
We'll have to have you on again, and then we'll recap Miami Music Week, and you can tell us what your favorite
Of
part
course,
was.
yeah, let's go. Let's do this.
So I have a question because I think what makes you really unique and special are the songs that you choose to remix. So what's the process? How do you pick songs to remix?
Okay, so the idea of the remixes came when I heard the JustNKayse do it to it. I was like, wow, top 20 world songs, it's a tech house songs. And I felt the difference in this song because he kept the vocals on the drop. And I was like, it's working. So I started to make some remixes, and so I'm an open format DJ at the beginning. So I used to play in clubs in France and Europe, and I know which songs are working. I know which songs people are singing on. So I was like, okay, let's try to do something like remixes, but on keeping vocals so people can sing and keep like the original spirit of the song.
Yeah.
So I just tried to turn classical songs into tech house songs, and
You can tell that you're a DJ because you choose songs that work in the club as a DJ for sure, you know?
yeah.
So what else do you have coming? What's next? I play your Jeffrey Dahmer track all the time, and every
Thanks so
time I
much.
play it, someone will come up to me like, what is that? What is that? What is that? So production-wise, what do you have coming down the pipeline? What are you excited about?
I'm really excited about doing my own music. Like, I want to keep doing remixes, but less. I really want to do this year originals and get signed on label I want to work with. Find my own sound. So I really spend a lot of time in studio. Sometimes I don't release anything. Sometimes I'm just listening to samples. Sometimes I'm just listening to presets, and it's a long process. But I really want to do something new. Yeah.
So what's some advice that you can give an aspiring producer or someone that wants to take the next step up? What's the best advice you could give them?
The best advice would be to don't think too much first. Just do your thing. Don't be too perfectionist. You will get better and better. Sometimes you don't like a song, you pull it out, but it's gonna work anyway. The Titi Me Pregunto from Bad Bunny remix. I didn't like the remix, but I told to myself like I had to remix. I had to release one remix a week. So I did this. Okay, Bad Bunny, top 10 global, so biggest, one of the biggest artists in the world. But I didn't like the remix, and so 6 months later, so much DJs played it, and I was like, okay, don't think too much, just do your thing. Be consistent. Be natural, be authentic. Don't do what's working, especially do your thing. And try to improve yourself every day. Like when you make a song, try to make the next song better.
So speaking about being authentic and being natural, obviously, house and pop influences all of our sounds and all of our sets a lot. Is there anything outside of the house sound and the pop sound that you listen to that you try to draw inspiration from?
Oh, yes. I like the music in general. I like hip hop, I like R&B. I was a hip hop DJ at the beginning, and I used to produce beats, hip hop beats for rappers and friends. So I really like to mix all this variation and all this genre music. I'm not that DJ who is in a box. Like, I don't want to be like a house DJ or a techno DJ. I want to play for people when I have a gig, even if I'm just like a headliner of the night. I know that people sometimes don't like tech house. It happens. So I really try to make that balance and make them feel good and play what they like. So
well, that's a true open format DJ.
Yeah.
That's the exact answer that I thought you would give. I have a very regional question for you.
Yeah.
How much does like Justice and Daft Punk influence your region?
Oh.
Does it still influence your region? Or has it gotten like far
you mean
away?
That French touch.
Yes.
I mean, there are. I'm not into French touch so much.
Okay.
But when you think about it, Daft Punk just did it. We're the first DJs who were masked.
Right.
To make something new, to create the universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To create like a real identity with their music.
Yeah.
So the music videos with the cartoons.
Yeah.
It's really inspiring, and even now, so there is a wave of DJ wearing masks, and I like this idea of put a universe and a character on music.
Yeah. Their innovation still withstands for all these years. It's incredible.
And I really like how they use samples of old songs to make their songs. Like, this is what is magic in music, because you can have one vocal turn into so much different kind of music, and this is what I like. Especially in house music, everyone is using samples from everyone.
Yeah.
And sometimes a song has the same vocal, so incredible.
It's refreshing to hear new samples and something new besides what everyone's doing,
Yeah.
I think that's really important moving forward. Even the edits, the remixes, do something that people aren't doing, As a DJ, it gets boring hearing the same remixes, the same edits,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that's really important. But we really appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Vandal on the track. If you don't know who he is, go download his music, because rising star, check this guy. Appreciate you for jumping on with us.
Thank you so much, my boys.
All right, Miami Music Week. We'll be back with the next guest. All right, what's up? We're back with John Varela, Mix Mash in the building. What up, brother?
Pleasure being here, man. Back in Miami.
So let me ask you this. What is your favorite part about being at Miami Music Week?
Miami Music Week changed my life in every single aspect. Coming from Panama and moving to Miami to just chase your dreams. It was because I was in Miami Music Week that I got to sign with Mix Mash, meet Maxim, Mix Mash director, shout out to him, and then connect with Luke and just showing my music, sit down, get to meet them in person. I tell all the artists that are upcoming, location is a very important thing. And sometimes it's super important not to just send music, but for them to put a face to that music, right? And connect as human beings. And if they like you and you like them and you start vibing, that's when things start kicking off.
That's honestly some of the best advice. And, we usually ask the question, what's something that you can tell an up-and-coming artist that they need? What's something that you can tell an up-and-coming artist that they can do to step their game up. And that's literally the answer to that question, is actually being face to face. And it's not just Instagram, right? It's actually being able to say what's up and be like, oh, that's the guy that's been sending me music for 2 months or 3 months or 6 months.
You know, I really believe, really strongly believe that all artists should understand at least the business side of things. They don't have to be their own managers, they don't have to be their own accountants, but honestly in the beginnings, they should.
Right.
But later in the game, I mean, it's important for them to get it, because this way, an artist can be sharp and take advantage of situations, right? Hey, have your music ready. Don't over-text people, right? Don't force things, but have a bit of touch, you know? Don't let them like go. It's like fishing, right? If you pull too hard, the fish, they're gonna scare away and they'll leave. They don't want to see you. And if you leave the cane in the water, they'll just take the bait and leave too. So you gotta like be an in-between, and I think understanding business gives you that advantage.
The natural progression is really the best way to grow quickly, grow naturally, obviously. And Miami Music Week really gives us all that tool to be able to do that, right?
Yes.
Because this has been like an overarching conversation we've had with all of our guests today, where, you know what, you are reaching out on Instagram and TikTok, however you're reaching out online, and then we all get to meet up here, right? We all get to relax and be here and meet up. And handling these situations in a correct way, don't be too drunk, don't be too aggressive like you're saying, are all very important parts of growing, right?
Exactly.
What are there any other events that you can think of that are not Miami Music Week that are important for DJs to grow and network?
Another big one in Miami is Art Basel, however you want to call it. Basel. I still don't get it right. That one's a very good one, because even though it's art, all DJs host events, there's a bunch of parties. ADE is pretty big too.
Right.
That's a huge one. That's a very like serious conference. And aside from that, you know, certain seasons like the Ibiza season is a very big place to be.
Huge.
Las Vegas has certain moments also that are really good to be at Las Vegas. And those, you know, the Grammys, there's specific moments around the world that everybody converges, right?
Yeah.
Any big festival, Tomorrowland, Ultra, all those things. You never know like the context you can make.
What's your highlight for Miami Music Week? How many years have you been coming here, number one?
A bunch.
A lot of years.
I moved to the United States when I was 16 years old.
Okay.
To study music, and I think I've been coming every year since. Except the pandemic, of course. Well, wait. Yeah. Except the pandemic. So it was pretty open, you know. So like, trying to remember if it was like, if there was or there wasn't a Miami Music Week. I'd say it was on an official one.
What are like your go-tos? Like, what are your go-to parties? Like, where do you need to be every time you come here?
I am not gonna lie, like I don't plan anything. I really just
Wherever the wind takes you.
Unless I'm getting booked in a show to play, like I don't know where I'm going. Usually, I've always ended up at Ultra. Even though I don't plan it, I always end up at Ultra. And I think
it's inspiring to see and hear the artists play.
I love Ultra, man. You know, I think it's one of the leading festivals in the world, and as I was telling like everybody here at ED, and like you guys, this Saturday, I'm gonna be presenting a record with Laidback Luke on the Afrojack stage. I just played Ultra Abu Dhabi on the main stage, so having been, sorry for my English, but in the GA, that kid that was in the first row looking at all the artists and being backstage with the huge ass stage, it's like, it's big for me, right? And I think it inspires you. Because when you're a DJ, I think every single DJ goes through this, just looking at the big artists and you're like, I want to be there. And if you're a bit more cocky and stuff, you can be like, I can do that. Some guys do that.
We know a lot of guys like that. All right, so we talked a lot about the networking part of it, right? But as far as the production side of it, what's the best advice you can give a producer that's in their bedroom right now trying to come and play at Miami or any festival or any big show?
Well, definitely polish your tracks, polish your work as best as possible. this might be a bit controversial, but work in teams. You know, we didn't learn to produce in a year by itself, you know. You're not gonna be able to mix and master better than people that are mixing and mastering for 10 years. And even the big artists have co-producers and huge studios and a bunch of engineers to help you out. So sometimes working with your friends will get you to that point faster, because maybe one learns to produce and the other one learns to mix and master way better, and then the other one is learning about vocals. And when the three of you get in the same studio and you help each other out, you three end up with a bunch of records. And you can share splits, you can share publishing, you can, I don't know, man. The industry is like that, you know. Some tracks you'll produce by yourself, other records you'll be with other friends producing, you know. Because honestly, as a producer, it'd be sad to just produce by yourself. It's amazing to produce with friends, right? And sometimes some friends have strengths, and some of them have weaknesses, and that's, you just start learning from each other, you know. Like here in Miami, there's a kid called Castello, and one of the most insane mixing and mastering engineers on the planet, in my taste, right? So we sit down, I learn from him, he learns from me what he needs to learn, and like we cooperate, right? And it just gets done faster.
That collaboration is so important to your growth, because there's a lot of stuff that maybe you're not interested that somebody else is, and they can just kind of lead you a helping hand in how to, like, this is where you got to go with that.
And I think 60% of producing is finding the right process. And once you find the right process, then it's just rinse and repeat, you know, because if it sounds good for you, then keep on doing it, tweak it a bit, you know. And working with friends, when a friend shows you, hey, look, like, this is how I do it, you're like, oh, is that easy? Wow, that's it, and you learned. Because I understand, you know, I've been there. Thousands of YouTube tutorials, or thousands of schools, and some are awesome schools. Shout out to my boy.
I was just gonna say, a lot of our guys are using that Priority Production Academy out there, yeah.
And you also gotta listen from people that are doing great things, you know, because sometimes it's not to shit on people or anything, but like, there's producers that might teach things, but they've never released official records through big labels or big remixes. So you gotta be careful where you learn too, because there's a lot of information. And sometimes some teachers can overcomplicate things, some will simplify things and will make things so easy. Again, shout out to my boy over there. You know what's up, Mike? You know what's up? And that's what's up, you know.
Yeah, that help, and having somebody that, like you said, doesn't overcomplicate things and really can lead you through. I don't think everybody sits down when they go to produce their first track and they think about, well, now I gotta go network with a label, and now I gotta go hang out with an A&R, and now I gotta go figure out how to do this. It becomes so convoluted and very, very foreign to people, especially a lot of artists are introverts, and it gets very difficult. You know, and this portion of it is not always easy for people.
Yes.
So, you know, it's good to have a good coach, somebody, a good friend to kind of just help you along the way.
You just said it. If you're an introvert and you're just not that good with socializing, you know, you're not a party guy, or you might not talk too much, get a friend who is. You know, he's gonna have fun. He wants to party. He wants to go backstage.
He'll go talk to anybody.
Girls, he'll talk to anybody, you know. Send him out, you know, and he'll be happy because he should be. Well, if he's your friend, right? Like, he'll help you out.
Yeah.
And that's what's up.
So let me ask you this: what are you excited about? What music or what venture that you have coming up that you're really excited about?
In May, I'm releasing my first EP through Mixmash. It's called LOC. It means La Otra Cultura, the other culture. So in Latin music, you hear the term para la cultura, for the culture. We're very proud of what we do, right? And of course, reggaeton has dominated the Latin industry. But there's a whole different culture, the side B of the vinyl, right? Vinyl, how are you gonna say it again? And I want to show the world more about that culture, you know? Because when I was a kid, I grew up listening to classic rock, and Spanish rap, hip hop, and dance music, trance. You know, Tiesto had a whole collection of In Search of Sunrise albums, and some of them are like Chile, Panama. So there's a lot of Latin people that love dance music, and sometimes dance music came before reggaeton. And I want to show all of that culture to the world. That's why it's called LOC. And it's got some great collabs, great records coming out. It's 6 records in total, all focused on what Spanish and Latin house is.
Love it. Love it. If you can't get inspired and motivated listening to this guy, then I don't know what you're doing. You got something wrong with you. So, John Varela, thank you for joining us so much. Big things coming, big music coming out. Appreciate you, man.